This haunted road trip will lead you to the scariest places in Florida. What is the most famous ghost story from Florida? Ghosts in Florida are not anything to laugh at. In fact, there are some scary places in Florida. Not to mention Florida ghost stories that will even scare the bravest of residents. But perhaps the most famous ghost story comes out of St. Pete Beach at the Don Cesar Hotel. The hotel was built by Thomas Rowe, a London student who happened to fall in love with a Spanish aristocrat named Lucinda. The relationship was clandestine, as the pair continued to meet at the fountain within the city and planned to sail to America to be together. Lucinda's parents did not approve of the romance and took her back to Spain. Rose's letters went returned and unopened, and yet only one of Lucinda's arrived, claiming to wait for him by the fountain. Legend has it, Lucinda died of a broken heart, and Rowe went on to build the hotel, which featured an exact replica of their fountain inside. It is said that Rowe's ghost still wanders the hotel and the nearby beach, waiting for his love to join him at last. Number 1. St. Augustine Lighthouse. Let's start our journey in the nation's oldest city, which is also one of its most haunted. Since the lighthouse was constructed in 1874, several people have passed away in or near the lighthouse. The most famous story is that of the Petey girls. Their father was hired to work on the lighthouse, and the girls, 113 and 115, got in the construction cart and it rolled into the bay. No one could reach them quickly enough, and they drowned. Children's laughter and footsteps on the stairs, among many other occurrences, are often reported here. Located in St. Augustine, Florida. Number 2. Cassadaga. Our next stop is a little town that has long drawn visitors who are fascinated with the paranormal. This town is called the psychic capital of the world because it has a large number of resident psychics and spiritualists. There are several places in Cassadaga that are rumored to be haunted, from the Cassadaga Hotel to the Devil's Chair in the Lake Helen Cassadaga Cemetery, located in Lake Helen, Florida. Number 3. Launch Complex 34. The third stop on our trip was the site of a tragedy in space exploration. Complex 34 was envisioned as a major launch pad for NASA until tragically 3 astronauts died in the cabin fire here in 1967. The launch pad was shut down and stands as a memorial to the fallen astronauts. Paranormal activity has been reported here, from mysterious screaming to a sudden, overwhelming sense of dread. It can be visited as part of a special tour offered through the Kennedy Space Center, located in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Number 4. Ashley's of Rockledge. You know, you're probably hungry after all that ghost hunting, so luckily our next stop doubles as a pub. The main spirit here is tied to a story that is truly gruesome. It has been verified by local reports from the time. A young woman, Ethel Allen, was last seen at the restaurant, then known as Jack's Tavern, before her body was found near the Indian River. Workers and visitors have reported being tapped or pushed, seeing objects move on their own, and a woman in period clothing, located in Rockledge, Florida. Number 5. The Biltmore Hotel. This road trip probably takes several days, so it's a good thing we have a couple of hotels on our route. The most famous legend at this historic hotel is of a mobster killed in a gambling dispute, who is said to remain here in spirit. Visitors and employees have seen lights turn on and off by themselves, and the elevator repeatedly going to the wrong floor. This resident spirit has also been known to hold doors open for servers in the hotel's restaurant, located in Coral Gables, Florida. Number 6. The Opera House. Next, we'll head to this tiny town to check out this historic opera house. This 1905 theater is currently occupied by an antique store and museum. The theater has been rumored to be haunted by a little girl who some say jumped out of the second-story window. Phantom footsteps and laughter have also been heard here. Located in Arcadia, Florida. Number 7. Tampa Theater. Many employees have experienced paranormal events when alone in the theater. It's supposedly haunted by the longtime projectionist who worked in the theater from 1930 to 1965 and died of a heart attack in the projection booth, located in Tampa, Florida. Number 8. May Stringer House. Last but not least, we'll head to the Victorian house that is often called Florida's most haunted. It's rumored to be occupied by the past residents who passed away on the property. This historic house is now a museum displaying antiques and artifacts of the Victorian era. At night, it hosts adult-only haunted tours in groups of paranormal researchers. Located in Brooksville, Florida. What is the creepiest abandoned place in Florida? Abandoned places in Florida may be few and far between, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. Actually, some of the creepiest places in Florida happen to be abandoned, and many of them you can visit yourself. Castillo de San Marcos is a former military fortress in St. Augustine that tops the list of one of the most famous abandoned places in Florida. With plenty of ghost stories coming from this abandoned fortress, you can take a tour yourself and see if there is any paranormal activity that pops up on your radar. What is the most haunted town in Florida? When most people think about the Sunshine State, they probably don't think about Florida hauntings or abandoned places in Florida. And yet, Florida is home to many different haunted towns that are worth paying a visit. For instance, Monticello, Florida. Monticello, Florida has quite the reputation for being the most haunted town in the South. You don't need to visit this Florida town during October to get in on the fun either, as there are ghost tours and other spooky attractions featured all year long.